you wanna know what we think of the show. You know we keep it G, so real, so chill when we spill the tea. You came for the truth. What else we gonna do? You know we're Team O-Lit, together fairy tale love if the glass shoe fits. OPA's got a back over a cliff, just like that. Problems that need fixing come their way. Olivia Pope to save the day. BK's on scandal. BK's on scandal. BK's on scandal. BK's on scandal.
Welcome to our third recap, and this episode is Inside the Bubble, right?
Yes. At the top, David Rosen was being great, y'all. He's being great. He's winning.
Hashtag winning.
Now I'm just so happy for him. I loved how he went and got those B613 files. And was like, let me see what I could figure out about Judge Sparks so I could get him in my back pocket. I was like, yes, sir. You've been losing for 3 seasons. It's time for you to...
For real. It's time for him to redeem himself.
He was literally walking into his destiny because he has been losing from the start.
But you know, okay, I got to get a little biblical real quick. So you know how, like, the Israelites, they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years, and they had to go through a process, and they had to learn some things about themselves so that they can be great in the promised land, okay, right? Mm-hmm. David Rosen had to go through what he went through. He had to go through that wilderness of losing his job and working at the high school and
running from
working
people.
At OPA. Working for Charlie and Billy Chambers. He had to go through all that because if he had not gone through that, he couldn't be Attorney General.
It's not a testimony without a test, so.
Hello. The conversation with Olivia Pope and Rowan outside his doorstep. Now listen, every time Rowan step into a conversation, I'd be ready for a monologue. Lift your hands and receive and be ready, okay? Because when he said, you know, it feels cold for you, you came back and things are missing, but I'm still here. Everybody's changed except me because I was cold in the first place. I said,
that is the most preachingest killer I have ever seen in my life. Because every time he opens up his mouth, he has a word.
Consistency. Do you hear me? Consistency.
I mean, like Pastor Eli, you killing people. You know what I mean? But every time you open up your mouth, you know what I mean? You helping the people.
Olivia Pope and Abby, they need to be sisters again.
Listen.
That was breaking my heart. I was not okay with that.
And this tension is just, I can't deal with it. Like when Abby came up to Olivia's doorstep and Olivia wouldn't share any information with her. And Abby was like, you know what? That's fine. I'm going to go to my friend myself, and I'm going to ask her on my own. And Olivia had to look for her, and her eyes turned red.
You have to let these people in. Because that's why it's so cold, Olivia, because you don't let nobody in.
The case of the week. But she was in the morgue, and she walked in there with her hair pulled back. She was ready. Yes. She had a Vaseline on, the door knockers off. She was ready, okay?
Yes!
She went in there and yoked old girl up.
Listen, that whole scene was epic because the way, like my brother, we had like with Ryan Gray was like, did you see how she walked in? Like Olivia walked in slow, like I'm about to kick her behind.
Jake, when Olivia called Jake talking about, oh, come to dinner with me and my dad.
With my daddy.
And he was like, he was like, yeah, I'll come to dinner. Yeah, with you. No, with your dad. And then he's like, oh, I'm not your boyfriend, da-da-da-da-da. But then I was like, okay, so it was usual Oleg banter, you know, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
But when he was like, he saw Charlie, he was like, call me if you want me to do that thing to you.
Yeah, girl.
I was like,
stop.
God.
Why? Candace, listen.
I know what that thing was, right? It's the ride. You know what I mean? First he live like on a like that ride got to be everything because Jake has an attitude like he has been reckless.
Right. He is arrogant and he's like, I'm not your boyfriend, but you know, if you want to get it popping, we can get it popping, and I'm not coming to dinner with you because like that's just not going down. Like, but we can still get it popping if.
Melly is being a lawyer, y'all. She's finally using her law degree. And breaking my heart still.
Listen. Everybody's face in that room, though.
Everybody's face. They looked at her like she was an idiot.
Somebody on Twitter was like, somebody give her a hug, please.
They should have played along. You know.
You don't disrespect the first lady.
And she's bounced back. She showed up to the State of the Union. She's using her brilliant mind and trying to do something good and right for this young woman. Like, give her a bone. Throw her a bone or something. Be like, wow, you know what? We didn't even know this. But now I'm about to flip it and say because they're government officials and there's other other important things that they can be doing.
Yeah.
If that case is, you know,
they didn't want to waste their time.
Resolved. You know, you can't really waste time, but I mean, if I'm looking at Scandal, I feel like y'all be wasting time anyway. So. But I also loved how Fitz showed up. This is what Melly has been trying to tell Fitz to do since season 1. Show up
for me. Yes. Yes.
Speaking of Fitz, his little temper tantrum with David Rosen in the Oval Office. What do we think about that?
Fitz wants to do so much. Like, granted, Vermont is important, and Vermont is going to happen. Why? Because I have faith that God can do it. And faith to get you far. But other than that, like, he wants to be a soccer dad in Vermont, but where has Karen been since Jerry left? Like, you're trying to raise kids in Vermont, bro, but I haven't even seen your 2 children.
That's also his problem. He's inside his own bubble as well.
Dear costume department, Olivia Pope is a black woman. Okay? She's black.
Oh, you about to talk about the hair?
That means she wear a headscarf. Jake, you don't have a job. Jake is like
Tommy.
Jake is like the new age Tommy. Okay, so this awkward family dinner when Olivia excused herself from the table and then Jake decided he wanted to get bucked with Papa Pope in his house. Now, let me tell you something, Jake. I don't know how you were raised. I don't know how you talk to your mother. But as a black woman, within the black community, you don't talk to our elders the way you did. I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. If they're older than you and you're in their house.
Eating their groceries.
Eating their groceries. You don't ever say shut up. You don't do it. And the other thing I have to say about that is how both Fitz and Jake try it with Rowan. And it's just, he will ruin your life. Predictions.
I think something is gonna happen with Papa Pope and Jake. I don't know who's gonna do what, but I feel like they're gonna try to expose each other in one way or another, you know, and something's gonna happen with that.
I think that the OLED scene it's going to be heartbreaking, but I feel like it's gonna be really, really, really bittersweet.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.